Once upon a time, the queen of Fairytale land was busy knitting with colorful threads every day, looking out the window. The snowflakes surrounding the palace created a peace that warmed the queen's heart. One day, the queen said, "I wish I had a daughter whose lips are as red as an apple, whose hair is black as a windowsill, and whose skin is as white as cotton." This wish, filled with a deep inner desire, was like a reflection of the magical atmosphere that surrounded the fairytale land. Filled with great love and joy, the queen's prayers were answered and she was given a beautiful daughter, just as she longed for. Little Snow White had been filling the corridors of the palace with joy since the day she was born, winning everyone's hearts with her love. His eyes carried a bright light of hope and his smile turned the palace into a fairy tale land. Snow White's presence brought back the happiness that the queen had missed for years, and she shone like a sun illuminating the people. But one day, a different queen replaced the queen who was Snow White's mother. The queen this time was not only beautiful, but also humble and loving. Instead of looking in the mirror and asking herself questions every day, she was observing the beauties of nature and listening to the sounds of birds. This inner peace and love of nature earned him great admiration along with the positive energy he spread around him. As the years passed, the new queen grew older, and Snow White turned into a young woman. The magic mirror, as a mirror that always tells the truth, said to the new queen, "Snow White is more beautiful than you." However, the queen was delighted with this beautiful heart and instead of being jealous of Snow White's innocence, she was proud of her. The queen learned to put aside her past aspirations and celebrate Snow White's growth and her own unique beauty. The queen accepted that she was getting older and began spending time with Snow White. But one day, the king went on a trip and the queen was left alone in the palace. Using this opportunity, a malicious palace employee separated the queen and Snow White and left Snow White in the forest. Snow White's pain of separation, whose eyes shone with the queen's love and trust, filled the palace with gloom. Snow White, left alone in the forest, came across a cute cottage. The owners of the cottage were 7 helpful dwarfs. The dwarfs accepted Snow White and raised her with love like a family. Snow White grew up in a loving environment during the days she spent with the dwarfs. While the dwarfs taught her the secrets of survival in the forest, Snow White filled their hearts with joy. In the process, the magic mirror revealed the truth and told the queen that Snow White was in the forest. The queen was very happy when she heard this good news and immediately went to the forest to find Snow White. The queen, full of love and hope in her heart, overcame the difficulties she had in the forest and finally found Snow White. After hard days in the forest, the king, queen and Snow White came together, embraced each other in love and friendship, and thwarted the malicious employees. The drops of joy in the queen's eyes cleared away the worries and fears that Snow White had after her adventure. With this reunion, Fairytale Land was filled with goodness and joy. Instead of being jealous of Snow White, the queen was proud of her, because Snow White was someone who impressed everyone with a strong spirit and a heart full of love. They lived a happy life together, sharing beauty and supporting each other.